Deep underground in a cave system, sealed off forever, lies a tomb, not built by man, but carved by stone itself. What began as a simple adventure turned into one of the most haunting examples of a fatal mistake. In 2009, a group of friends entered a cave in Utah, a maze of twisting passages, some so narrow that they earned the name like the Birth Canal and the Scout Eater. The cave was notorious among explorers for being dangerous, but also irresistible. That night, the group's goal was simple: to explore together before Thanksgiving, a quick adventure before heading back to their families. For many, it was a chance to test themselves against one of Utah's most challenging caves. The air inside was damp and cool, and their headlamps cast long, sharp shadows along the rock walls. Every movement echoed in the cramped chambers, a reminder of just how deep they were venturing. The group laughed, encouraged each other, and pushed deeper. Caving was about trust. Trust in your gear, trust in your friends, and trust that you could find your way back. The cave wasn't a tourist attraction. It was raw, unpredictable earth, and that was the thrill. Still, anyone familiar with the cave knew its reputation. Its passages were so tight that even the most experienced cavers had moments of panic. Getting stuck wasn't just possible, it was a constant threat. Every decision mattered. Choosing the wrong tunnel could mean the difference between emerging into an open chamber or never coming back out. Unfortunately, one of the explorers tried to squeeze through a tight passage, believing it led to a larger chamber, but he had chosen the wrong route. Instead of opening up, the rock pinched tighter until his body was wedged upside down in a gap barely wider than his shoulders. Rescue teams worked nearly 24 hours. They brought in ropes, pulleys, and drills. They tried everything to reverse gravity's grip. Each hour that passed made survival less likely. Trapped nearly 400 feet inside the cave, upside down, blood rushing to his head, his strength began to fade. After 28 hours of effort, he was gone. His body could not be recovered safely, so the cave itself was sealed forever. Today, the cave is closed to the world, hiding within it a reminder: even the smallest mistakes can be fatal when the walls are closing in. At a zoo, danger is supposed to stay behind the glass, but one visitor ignored the barrier and paid the ultimate price. In 2009, during feeding time at the Berlin Zoo, hundreds of visitors gathered to watch the polar bears. These massive predators weighed over 800 pounds, were surrounded by a deep moat and high walls. To most, it seemed safe. To one woman, it seemed like an invitation. For reasons still unclear, she climbed the fence and jumped into the enclosure. Below her, 4 polar bears waited, already agitated by the smell of food. She splashed into the water, thinking she could swim, but there was no escape. The bears attacked immediately, dragging her through the water and biting as horrified onlookers screamed. Zookeepers rushed in, throwing meat to distract the animal, and firing warning shots. For a long minute, it was a battle between human desperation and nature's raw power. Despite the rescue attempt, the injuries were catastrophic. She did not survive. The visitors who came to see a feeding show instead witnessed a fatal mistake, and one that left the entire zoo shaken. It started with a lost hat and ended with a tragedy that shocked an entire amusement park. A 17-year-old who just wanted his hat back made one reckless decision that he could never take back. In June 2008, at a Six Flags in Georgia, the Batman roller coaster was one of the park's most thrilling rides. A suspended coaster where riders' legs dangled freely as the train tore through the tracks at nearly 50 miles per hour. To keep everyone safe, the ride was surrounded by 2 locked fences, each lined with bright warning signs that read, "Danger, do not enter." During the ride, the teenager lost his hat. Instead of asking park staff to help, he ignored the warnings, scaled one fence, then another, and then stepped into the restricted track zone. He believed he had enough time to grab his hat and get out of the way before the next train came roaring through. Within seconds, a train full of riders came screaming down the track at full speed. The boy never saw it coming. Witness recalled horrified screams as the coaster struck him with incredible force. For the passengers, what began as a thrill ride instantly turned into a nightmare that they would never forget. Emergency crews rushed to the scene, but it was already too late. The teenager was pronounced dead on the spot. His life was ended in an instant because of a decision that bypassed every safety measure meant to protect him. The tragedy at Six Flags stands as a stark reminder. Safety fences and warning signs at amusement parks aren't there to be ignored. They're there to save lives. Sometimes the smallest mistake can cost everything. Hey everyone, I'm just stopping by to say thank you for making it this far in the video and tell me your favorite story in the comments. If this content, consider leaving a like or subscribing. This is something new for me again, so I'm still just trying to figure out what I want to do. I believe for now I'm going to rotate between this, the short stories, and the SCP content. Anyway, I'm out of here. I hope you guys had a good weekend and have a good week.